everybody, and welcome. My name is Marlana Doyle. I'm the president and CEO of the Institute of Contemporary Dance. Super excited to have you here today. I would love to take a moment to thank you for tuning in. We have been doing virtual classes for the last 6 weeks on our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram page, and we are excited to be here to talk to you. We're really just doing kind of a Q&A. The Institute of Contemporary Dance is a new space that's going to be opening. It was supposed to open April 15th. We've been obviously a little delayed because of COVID and can't really be in there yet until we can all be together again. But we have been building out the space, and it's a beautiful, beautiful space, and we are so excited to share it with you. But we know that you might have questions about the Institute. What is it? What is the purpose? Where is it going to be? How has the build-up been going? But then we also know you have questions about our classes and what we're going to be doing there. So I have actually invited my studio and education director, a young, beautiful woman who I've known for many years, and I love her, and she's been doing this whole thing with me. This is Genene Wallace-McGrath. And she is there from her house in Houston. She's in the city. I'm coming from you in Sugar Land. And we're going to chat with you today. So, Genene, I'll let you kind of start it off for us.
Hi, everybody. We are so excited to be here. We can't wait to answer your questions. So make sure that you're asking via YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And make sure that you're posting in the comments on the video, so then that way we get them. We also asked for a couple questions if anyone wanted to ask ahead of time. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. First, again, I'm Genene Wallace-McGrath. I'm originally from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I've been living in Houston for 6 years now. And as Marlana said, I'm the studio and education director of the Institute of Contemporary Dance Houston. So Marlana, let's get started with some of our questions that we had previously asked. So the first question, which is one of my favorites, is what are some of your favorite facts about the Institute? Yes. And we're only here for 30 minutes, so make sure, right. Just give us...
Yeah, I mean, I think some of my favorite facts, I mean, there's one that's super cool that we just found out a couple weeks ago. So our Marley is actually from Harlequin Marley. And our contractor did a basket weave subfloor system, which is the exact measurements of the Harlequin design. And our floor is actually the New York City Ballet gray. They customized a color for their studio, and only a select number of studios are allowed to have that color. And due to COVID, the color we ordered wasn't available. So we got the color that New York City Ballet has, which is pretty cool. So any of you ballet fans, it's pretty cool that we have the same color as them way down here in the South in Houston, Texas. Another fun fact is we're going to have a lot of art in the space. So we have some Rothko Chapel baffle glass that was given to us from the Rothko Chapel. They generously donated it since they are redoing the baffle for the chapel. They're doing a lot of construction, actually. And my husband works for them, and they offered us the glass. And so we're going to be installing that throughout the space. So those are two really cool facts about the Institute.
Those are two of my favorite facts as well, especially in addition to, I love how much space that there is in the studios. Can you tell us a little bit about the sizes of the studios and the dimension?
Sure. So yeah, we have 3 studios. One is a wood sprung floor, and the other 2 are Marley. We can cut to the video. We can show you a little bit. So the wood floor is about 42. I'm giving you estimates. By like 29, 28. This is the wood floor right here. Some of you have seen this. There's some of the Rothko Chapel glass, which is pretty exciting. Some of you have probably seen some of this before, but this is the most recent video. So that is the wood floor. It's a very long studio, kind of skinny, but also it actually has a lot of depth to it. And that studio is really, really good for music. And this is down the hall to 2 of our other spaces, and this is Studio B here on the left. And this room is also very deep, not as wide, but I would say about 40 by 30. And this is Studio A. Studio A is super long, super deep. The way we're looking at it now, it can be converted into a performance space. This is the back wall. We still have portable bars and bars to install, but this is one of the harlots. There's the New York City Ballet Harlequin gray color. Those are the bathrooms, and this is a look into Studio C. So yes, and the ceilings are super, super high, which is just, I was telling one of my former students today that this building has really encompassed the vision that I've always had for dance. You know, a lot of natural light, not a lot of white walls, a lot of space, a lot of height, because you do a lot of lifts and you just feel like you're in this, especially now after being stuck at our houses and stuck in a small space, it's going to feel like a very ethereal kind of space above us. So I'm super excited about that. I mean, the building was just an A-frame building. It was a tire shop, and it didn't have any plumbing, no electrical, no water. And so we did all of our permitting through the city of Houston, got approved in January, and just started the build out. I have a wonderful, wonderful contractor and an amazing architect as well. Jason Tremonte with Tremonte Design Group, and KF Enterprises with Kyle Friedman. So we love them both. They have been amazing through this entire process.
Amazing. Another question we got was, what is the minimum age for HC2 dancers? So maybe I can take this one on a little bit. So our HC2 program is Houston Contemporary 2, which is our youth program. It's a pre-professional dance company. This year consists of 17 dancers in their first season. They are currently still training with us at home with all of their HC2 weekly teachers. They are constantly performing, constantly training together. There are two separate levels. So we have an intermediate level and an advanced level. Like I said, we have 17 dancers. Our youngest HC2 dancer this year is 11 years old. So that's 10 to 11, depending on the ability. And we really look at the dancer's skills and not necessarily the dancer's age when we're leveling these dancers out. So yeah, and auditions are happening now. We are doing all of our auditions this year virtually. We did have one in February, but after that we moved all of our auditions to a virtual platform. So you can check out those audition requirements on our website. If you have any questions specifically about those, feel free to email us. We would love to answer those, or ask us now. We could answer them right now. This is our HC2 website, video auditions, and you can also see other, like, the performances that the HC2s have done this year, so you can kind of get a sense of what the year consists of. Unfortunately, several of their performances have been postponed or canceled because of COVID-19, so hopefully we'll be able to reschedule them soon. These are all of our beautiful HC2 dancers. Yeah. Did you have anything to add to that, Marlena?
No, I was trying to, no, I don't. I was just trying to get the screen up for everybody to see. So there's some details here at the bottom of the screen, and as Genene said, some of their performances have been rescheduled or canceled, but we plan on airing their show, so stay tuned for that. They did a show in December. They've had all new work, so it's a concert-based program, which I think you mentioned, and we want to make sure that the dancers are getting a full range of training and versatility and learning concert works to be prepared for college or anything beyond that. And so we do have their performances here that they've done so far this year, as well as some additional information. Honestly, if your dancer is 8 or 9 and you feel like they're at the next level, it is a non-competitive company, so just keep that in mind. They do not compete. They're constantly trained, and they're learning how to take class and how to do that and do very well and becoming little pre-professionals here in the city. We're super proud of them, and they have had a crazy year because the Institute has been building out, but we are excited to give this space to them and have them supported in any way they can. So Genene is here, as well as myself. And if you email info@icdancehouston.com, both of us can talk to you with any of your questions. But yeah, I'll send it back to you.
Or if you're watching now and you're thinking about some HC2 questions too, send them along. This is a great opportunity for us to connect to you. We just got a question in from Instagram. Marlena, if you want to take this, when are you foreseeing the studio being open?
So hopefully we'll have our occupancy here at the end of the month, possibly the beginning of May. And honestly, we have to follow the CDC guidelines, as well as, you know, what the governor and the mayor are saying here in the city of Houston. I know Houston's slowly opening, but I also have heard that the mayor doesn't want to kind of reverse all the work we've done by staying home. We hope by June. We hope maybe before that, if not definitely July. It just really depends. Unfortunately, this is so unpredicted, but we are thinking of some really cool ways and some things that will kind of help get everybody in the space and safely. You know, safety is obviously our biggest concern, and we want to make sure that it is a brand new space. Everything has not been touched or, have had people sweating and dancing in it yet. So we want to just make sure it's a safe place for people to come, and we're adhering to all the guidelines.
Yeah, so we also had a question about what kind of classes we're offering. So our HC2 program is part of our full curriculum. We also will be, in the future, as Marlena said, depending on when we can be in there and when we can have all of our full schedule, but we'll have a full schedule of adult classes, children's classes, classes for teens. We're 2 and up we're going to have, and varying styles. Any style you can think of, we are going to try to have in the Institute for you to join us. So.
And here, if you can look at my screen, I have pulled up my staff who are amazing. We have had our first staff meeting this morning, and we have just so many beautiful faces there listed. People that actually I have known over the years being here in Houston, people I have trained actually have gone away and come back, professionals. We have a lot of amazing guest faculty which have been helping with our virtual classes. But as Genene said, we're not just doing, ballet, tap, jazz. We're doing modern, Afro dance, cheer prep, jazz cardio, modern dance, things that are going to kind of cross-train you as a dancer. And so you have the full range of versatility and dance training behind you. And these artists they all have amazing resumes. They're all amazing people. They all have been involved, as I said, with me since this whole thing started in August or prior to that. I definitely have known them and seen them, and they were excited today to see the space. They have been amazingly patient. We were supposed to be in by now, but obviously with COVID, none of us could predict that this was going to happen or happen so severely. And they have just been amazing people, and I'm so incredibly grateful for them. They make the Institute what it is, and it is that. It is a training place, and you could be a beginner. You and I were talking about this, Genene, the other day, like, this is the best time to try dance with our virtual classes that are all on YouTube. You could try it and be embarrassed in your house by yourself. And then you can come to the Institute and you have already had a few classes under your belt virtually, and then you can dance with us, right? I mean, we were just talking about this the other day.
It was amazing to see all of our staff though this morning. It got me so emotional because we haven't seen everybody together. You and I have just been talking to people or seeing a couple people at a time, and it was so cool to see, even though it was through Zoom. It was so cool to see everyone together, and everyone got to meet each other because not everyone knew each other too. That was it was special this morning. Yeah.
It was, and I think they're excited too. I think we're all just patiently waiting for the time where we could be together. And a lot of them are huggers, as Jesus especially, right? He misses hugging everyone, so we'll get back there. So I'm going to talk. Do we have any more questions coming up?
We just have a couple of comments here.
We have a couple comments here. We're going to let those slide across here so you can see. I can't read it. Looks good. Thanks. We love being together. Genene and I talk every day, so it's like you're just joining us for our conversation. And you can talk to Genene's wife and my husband about that. We talk every day. We are super appreciative of our supporters and fans and people that have been subscribing to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate the growth and community we've built. My husband's a videographer. This is how we're doing these. I'm utilizing my resources. He's amazing. Ben Productions, he's been working with everyone here in the city. And I said to him after the third day of this stay-at-home order, what can we do? We need to do something. And that's why we really went to the virtual classes. And if you're joining us on YouTube, you can see all of our classes there. They're still there for you to use. And we have all kinds of levels, right, Genene? I mean, we've been talking about doing, I'm going to go to the YouTube page now. We've been talking about doing, all kinds of levels, all kinds of classes, all kinds of things that really are what people are wanting, and that's why we're here to talk to you. What do you need? We can do a screenshot now of my computer. We have all kinds of levels. They're all here for you. We have, some really cool videos of the space, some updates, kids classes, a teen and adult class. I mean, look at all those classes we've done. This is the first video down here that I did a month ago, and since then we have grown our content and grown our viewers, and these artists are all beautiful people and they want to share with you. They know that everybody's stuck at home, and we want to try to utilize the technology and resources we have to reach out to you. So so we're excited about that.
So I have another question.
Okay.
This is more for, the dance career side of your life, Marlana.
Okay.
And I have 2 cents about it too, but you go first. What is the best thing you have learned in your professional career as a dancer?
Ooh, yes.
I know it's a tough one.
That's a tough one. I think the best thing I've learned is what we were talking a little bit about the other day is just being patient. I'm a Virgo. I like to just kind of assume things. I want to make sure everything's done quick. Little OCD, want to make sure it's done. And as an artist, it took me a lot of time to figure out where I stood on stage, like how I was presented. And I have two children, and after my first baby, I went back to dancing, and my body snapped back like nothing. And after the second, it was a little harder to kind of get back to where I was comfortable. And I realized that my role now as an older retired dancer is to facilitate an opportunity for others, and many others for that matter. I have always loved performing. I miss being on stage, but I know that my time's over, and now it's time to give that offer. So I want to hear what you have to say, and then I'm going to talk about the company a little bit, the professional company.
So a little bit more about my professional dance career. I currently am dancing for Houston Contemporary Dance Company in its first season. Before that, I danced for Met Dance for 5 years, and then I also danced for Paradance Contemporary Dance Company in New York City and Missouri Contemporary Ballet in Columbia, Missouri. And I think through each stage of my career, there's been times that I felt like this is over, like it's not going to happen again. I'm not going to get that job. I'm not going to get that contract, and thinking and having that mind block and having that kind of energy block, and really thinking like that I'm done. Like now I need to think about my next stage in life, and I need to figure out what's next. But then, put your bootstraps on and you keep pushing. And looking back in those moments, those have really taught me that it's never done, because you're always a dancer. And it really has made me feel more secure in taking risks, because I know that it's never going to be done. This is always part of me. I'm always a dancer. And this one particular part of my life doesn't define every stage of it. So really keep going and keep pushing. And then I really found freedom in that in my older stages of my, dance career. Marlana has pushed me along in those moments too. I mean, you've had those hard conversations with me that you're like, just keep pushing. Yeah. You've witnessed some of those moments in my life of like, it's done. And you're like, it's not done, Genene. So I think those really help me be more free, having those moments.
Yeah, and I've been honored watching you as a professional dancer mature and grow over the last 7 years almost together with me. Yeah. We both went to the same university. We both went to Point Park University, different times, but knowing the training Genene had, and her coming to me kind of early when she was still dancing in New York and saying, this is where I'd like to be, this is my next step, because I also was with Met Dance a long time, for many years, but this is just the next step for me. Me as an artistic director, me as a studio owner, I've always wanted to have a space. And I always wanted to provide space for others. And I've always been about the community here. I just have loved everything that it gives, it offers. It's just so giving. And you're such a huge part of that, Genene. I mean, I've just watched you grow as an artist, and I have been so proud of your growth. And I don't think you're done. I don't think I'm done sometimes, but I know I'm out of shape because this building and this whole thing has taken up a lot of my time. I miss performing, but I vicariously live through my dancers. So I will talk about Houston Contemporary. I have the website up now. This is Houston Contemporary Dance Company. There are 6 dancers in this company. We are a repertory company. So we have started our first season in October. The dancers had learned over 10 works from October through March, and that is just crazy to me to think about. These are the 6 dancers here. There's Genene right there in the middle. There's Elizabeth, my blondie in the front, Risa, Dwayne, Jordan, and Jesus. And they are like my family. It's been hard not seeing them dance. It's been hard not seeing them kind of be a part of what we are doing now. It's just this whole thing has really put a damper in all the plans, but I know that they're strong. I know they're staying in shape. I know that they're patiently waiting for the next time they can be on stage. We also had some performances canceled due to COVID. We were supposed to do a show in April. It got moved to May, and then now it's in November. And then we were supposed to go on a tour to Utah in June, but I think we will be going now in August, which is exciting. If not, maybe next year. Things are just ever changing, and I think, the 6 of them have just been so committed to me, and it's just so rewarding. So Houston Contemporary Dance Company will be inside of the Institute of Contemporary Dance. So people get a little confused. They're like, Marlena, what are these things? Well, the Houston Contemporary Dance Company, as I say, is, and it's true, is a non-profit 501c. People that love art, love contemporary dance, love performing, that's where that money goes. Those are donations, grants, foundations. The Institute is I'm a sole proprietor owner. You pay for class, I pay the rent. You pay for tuition, we pay the rent. We pay for things. It's just, that's what it is. It's there to kind of facilitate and fill, a hole that's kind of missing. Met Dance was a repertory company. It's no longer happening anymore. I left and the dancers were let go, and so this nonprofit wasn't really the plan, but I told Genene, I think we can do it, and I think we can do it with a small amount of people. And I think, these 6 have been super committed to me, and have been, there was also work that, choreographers had promised from Met Dance, and when the company was gone, they needed the work too. So picking up kind of the slack there, but we have some really cool, innovative things that we've come up with. We did some pop-up performances. We had some really great momentum happening after our second show, and obviously everything has been kind of put on hold for now, but we will rebuild. We are strong, and we are excited to have the Houston Contemporary dancers, all 6 of them, facilitated in the Institute and helping out, teaching, and being a part of that. And you'll actually get to, there's intensives. Let's talk about the intensives real quick. So we have intensives lined up for the summer. You want I'll hand it over for you for the Houston Contemporary, and then I can show it on the website. I'll get that page up, but we'll throw it back to you.
So our Houston Contemporary Intensive is going to be done all virtually. So then we can start planning and start getting excited. So all 6 of the Houston Contemporary dancers will be teaching technique classes through Zoom. And then the dancers participating in the intensive will also get the opportunity to learn 1 or 2 pieces of rep that we have learned this year. So out of those 10 pieces of rep that we've learned, we'll probably pick 2 or 3 depending on enrollment. And then it will be a mix between rehearsals through Zoom and then also instructional videos that have been pre-recorded. So then it kind of allows the dancer to limit their screen time on a daily use, but still be getting active and still be learning from us. And then it will conclude in a final performance. So we're going to have all the dancers send in their own video of them doing the rep, and then we're going to put it all together, and then each dancer gets a copy of that, which I think is super special. Instead of doing an
Dance moves. We're back. Sorry about that. You gotta love the internet. The Doyles probably have to beef up their plan with all these things happening. We apologize for the slight delay, and we lost Genene. She was mid-sentence, so hopefully you're joining us. I feel like we need to continue where we left off, though. Why don't we go back over the intensives real quick? And I was sharing my screen, but I'm gonna hold off on the Wi-Fi situation there so we don't bump the stream again, but I'll let you take it over, Genene. Talk about a little bit about the intensives this summer.
All right. So first up in June, we have our Houston Contemporary Intensive. So it's a 1-week intensive that we announced today is going to be all virtual, which will consist of technique classes with the Houston Contemporary dancers via Zoom, and also some partially pre-recorded classes and rehearsals, and then also some Zoom rehearsals. So shortening the hour, shortening the day just a little bit, but really getting that one-on-one interaction, learning some Houston Contemporary rep, and then the week will conclude with a video production of the pieces that you learn. So that's pretty cool because you get to keep that video forever. You get to download it, and it's included in the tuition for the week, instead of in lieu of doing an in-studio performance to try to really limit the contact from the dancers and the teachers. So then in July, we're still planning on having our focus intensives. Those 3 weeks are contemporary ballet and musical theater. Focus intensives at the moment, they're still on the schedule, they're still in person, but we might be shifting that around too, depending on, we just have to wait and see what the governor and the mayor are going to allow us to do. So we're super excited about those intensives. So make sure you check it out. All of our auditions, like I said, just for the HC2s, as for the HC2s, all of our auditions are virtual. So you can send in one video and it could work for our HC2 program and both of these intensives. So it's really cool. Just one video and we'll look at it. We'll provide some feedback for you as well in those audition videos.
Well, great. We're excited to have those, and hopefully in July we will be all together. We have some really amazing teachers, so the intensives for Focus will be a mix of our staff, correct, and then a guest teacher. So for contemporary, we have Genevieve Carson coming in from LA Contemporary Dance, a good friend of mine, actually my mentor with Dance USA. She was my mentee this year. I was her mentor. And then we have Lauren Blakeney, who's a student of mine. She grew up here, danced in Kingwood, and in spring I kind of taught her. She has gone off. She's done lots of things, and we're excited to have her. She lives in Florida, so we have the two coasts coming together in Texas. And then in the week of ballet, we actually will have Jack Wolf, who also is a former student of mine. I trained him for about a year and a half when he was dancing here in Houston before he moved to New York, and he will be teaching ballet. He's actually a member of the corps with Houston Ballet, so we're excited to have him. And then, of course, Andrea Doncelli. She's on staff at Vitaka, but also a beautiful artist and choreographer and teacher. She will be teaching that week as well. And then for musical theater, we have Chip Abbott. He is a dear friend of mine. Danced with him for many years in my musical theater theme park days. He's been in a lot of different shows, and he's going to come dance with you, as well as Kyle Craig Bogart. She's on faculty at Sam Houston State. Also did a lot of shows. I just recently worked with Tuts this past fall, and I helped choreographed. Kyle is my assistant, Spring Awakening. So I have some other things coming down the pipeline, Genene, right, for Musical Theater Week. We haven't announced those yet. Please stay tuned. We have some really exciting things happening. And even if you don't like musical theater, or you're not really sure what it is, it might be a good way to, or it's something that you're maybe interested in for college. There'll be some singing, some acting, as well as tap dance, and what it really means to be a professional dancer on Broadway, and what that requires, and what skills you need to learn. So we're excited to have those 3 focus weeks. We also have some things coming up in August, and you just need to stay in touch with the Institute. We have lots of opportunities coming up, and once we can all be together again. And the choreographic workshop. So that is a 2-week intensive for the company, and anyone that's a pre-professional or professional. We're going to be structuring that probably down to 1 week, and more information will be coming about that soon, so please stay tuned. I think we had a question about Studio A. They want to know, oh, there is Aiden. We love Aiden. He wants to know how it's going to be converted into a performance space. So, do you know this question, Genene? You know this a little bit. Studio A, when you face the mirrors, we have curtains that will close. We told our staff this morning, it seemed like a lot of them were excited about that. So sometimes teachers don't like the mirrors, right? So the curtains will close. If you were facing the mirror, it's very long, but then we're going to turn it, and there it is right there, to face this direction. So to the right are the mirrors, to the left is the teal wall that we all love, and that will be a performance space. There's 2 speakers and a subwoofer up there. They're the ladders. They were installing the white speakers yesterday, and that back area there'll be some lighting capabilities. We'll be able to put a couple light trees on the side, some monitors, and where that white panel is, that will be a door. It is a door right now. We have to wait till we have all of our locks on, but you'll be able to exit that door and then come back in. We're thinking about hanging some pipe and drape, to make some wings, or not. I mean, some artists like it in the round. Some people like it with this proscenium kind of effect. But, we could fit about 50 people in there comfortably. I don't know about social distanced, but we could fit some chairs in there, some people, and then you'll be able to have a performance. And up high in Studio A, there's a window for a lighting designer as well as a projector. So we have a projection capabilities for any of those artists that like to kind of have projection in their work. We'll be able to do that. But Studio C also will have a projector and a screen for any corporate events or anybody that's looking for a kind of non-traditional what is that, like a conference room to have a meeting. And that's where we would have been this morning, right? For a staff meeting, we would have had Genene put together a wonderful presentation, and we would have had a nice little slideshow with our staff. One of the best things I think we talked about this morning, and something that people are talking about, is what everybody eats. What is your favorite meal during this quarantine? And we had some really interesting answers and some really good ones too. So.
I have one more question from Instagram. They were asking about donations. So I think from both spectrums, the company and the Institute.
Yes. So for the company, there is a donate page on our website at the top left. And it is those are tax deductible. I can pull those up if we want to do that. Okay. I just want to make sure we're good to open the computer. You can donate to the company. It's a tax write-off, and I think things are shifting with COVID. Your tax deduction will be worth more on your taxes next year if you do give to a nonprofit. So please support the arts. Any of the arts, but Houston Contemporary Dance Company would love your support as well. And then for the Institute, we are looking for items. We still have some things on our Amazon list that need to be purchased. We have gotten most of those items just because we're in the place of closing out everything. And we are looking for trash cans, little kid props, which we think are necessary, of course, for creative dance and imaginative movement is what we're calling it. Genene, I'm going to pull this up, but can you talk a little bit about the Imagine Camps? We're going to cut to you real quick so I can get this on the screen.
So we have 2 weeks of our Imagine Camp. So it's a creative movement and music and arts camp. So it will be all day. We have different options on how long the day can be. You can do half day or full day. And yeah, it's a Monday through Friday, all being held at the Institute. We are also going to come out with some virtual options as well. So if we're in a good position and we can be together, but it's better for your family to be at home, or you feel that it's safer for your family to be at home, we're also going to have those options coming out as well within the next couple of weeks. And then that pricing will vary too. So look out for that. We're going to be announcing all of that probably next week. But we're very excited to have both of those options, the in-person and then also the virtual. And then if, of course, by then we cannot be together still, we will shift it all to virtual, being super flexible and making sure that we don't have your 3-year-old staring at a computer for 8 hours in one day. So we'll also provide some activities for them to do off of the computer too.
So we're going to have lots and lots of fun. So I'm going to click to our building page real quick. So if you want updates on the building, or if you're super curious about how this whole thing started, there's me, and we have a little button here for our Amazon wish list. So we have a couple things left on there if anyone wants to donate. I know that question just came up. But our contractor is so amazing that he gives weekly reports, and I make sure every weekend I update that. And you can kind of see the progress of what has happened and how it's happened. If you click here on one of these tabs, we'll go down here to week of March 22nd. If you click on it, it kind of talks, it shows some images. which is pretty amazing. My dad is in Massachusetts, and it's one of his favorite things to do. And he really enjoys looking at what was installed, what happened. And you can kind of see the work that's happening. And, you know, it is essential services. Construction and commercial construction especially is essential services. So we've been working through this COVID-19 time and this time of social isolating, and they have been very good about continuing to complete the project. You know, just as much as everyone, those guys definitely have been working really hard and, you know, want to get paid too and want to finish a project and move to the next one. So excited to have that. So you can check there. For Houston Contemporary, you can go, I'm going to go to that website real quick, and you know, those are, again, tax donations. And you can go to the donate page here. We just received our 501c3 approval. Woohoo! We got that in less than 3 months, which is amazing. I have some really amazing lawyers and some supporters. We are funded in part by the City of Houston through Houston Arts Alliance. We will be members of Dance USA, and we have we just got another sponsor from Seven Investing, which is a stock market corporation, and they're a new company, and they just donated to the company, so we're excited to have them. But we also do matching, and I've had a lot of donors give money up front when we first were starting this whole thing, and I've gotten a lot of matches from corporate foundations and corporate businesses. And I know times are tough for everyone right now, and we get it, but we're here, and you know, in the future, you can underwrite things. It could, you know, a small amount goes a very, very long way, and we want to get these artists back on stage and continue to bring art to Houston. And there's your kitty. There she is.
Company question.
We have another company question. It's coming across. I cannot read that.
Will your company be traveling to perform?
Oh, will we be traveling? So we will be going to Utah, right, Genene? We were supposed to go in June. It got moved to August. We are available for touring. Touring has definitely shifted over the years, as you and I know, with our many years at Met Dance. We will be doing festivals, what we can. We did do a tour in January to San Antonio, which is pretty exciting. We had a full performance there, as well as a children's performance, and people just love the dancers. They're just so passionate when they're on stage, and I miss seeing them in the studio. But yes, we do travel, and we will be doing a lot of that. I have a great support team. I have a great village here in the city, but also nationally, and I have some really amazing people behind me and have mentored me and helped me get to this point. So yes, we will be traveling. So we want to thank everybody. What is that? I think that's from my mom. I can't see it. What does it say?
So excited for you, all of you.
Yes, my parents have been amazing through this whole thing, and your family too, and all of our staff and all the dancers, and everyone here in the city has just been amazing. Our HC2 program started in September, and those kids and their parents have been phenomenal through all of this. And you know, we've been teaching them. We have some exciting announcements coming in the next couple weeks, though, about some things that we can offer to you. But as Genene has always said, and I've always said, we are here for you. We want to hear from you. So info@icdancehouston.com. Stay with us. Keep following the progress. I know we all have good and bad days, but hopefully we can make your day a little bit better with a little bit of dance and get you just, you know, kind of dancing through your screen. And hopefully we'll be together soon, right, Genene?
Yeah. Virtually together.
Virtually together. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. I apologize for the quick little drop off there, but glad we could finish our conversation. And thank you everyone for tuning in. Hopefully we'll do this again. And thanks, Genene. I'll talk to you in a little bit. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks, Ben.
Thanks, Ben.
you.